And we are live on another Tuesday night show, all in on high school sports. Jennifer Valenti, Kurt Valenti.
Good evening.
All in on high school sports. You're rocking it from DMK Apparel,
yep.
Coach Breslin. And we are going to get into Coach Breslin in a little bit. Because Coach Breslin got me some wings. We'll get into that. How are you today?
I'm doing well. You?
I'm good. You know, NFL this week, how could I not be fired up? A little college football, and we got some high school football. What's on the agenda tonight?
Well, tonight we welcome to the show Coach Hack of Morris Catholic Football, and he will be joined by his quarterback, captain, senior, Dean, and I don't want to mispronounce his name, so I'll double check on the pronunciation. Dean DeNobile, I believe is how it's pronounced. So we're glad to have them on the show. We also will have, we'll go over our week 1 picks and the results. And I see our guest picker from checking in there. And then we'll after we welcome Morris Catholic, we'll do our week 2 picks with our new guest picker.
Yes.
Gerald Patire will be joining us.
And Mr. Neely is saying, Coach Breslin got you wings and me a win. And there's Kenny Kirkpatrick, who will be live tonight for his picks.
Yes.
With the best high school sports talk on earth.
Thank you very much.
So,
Kenny K.
Yeah, thank you, Kenny K. We'll talk to you, and we're going to get into picks. You're going to do a little review. He's saying he loves the sweatshirt hoops.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
I don't know how she's wearing a sweatshirt up here. I'm dying with heat. But, hey, if she wants to wear a hoodie, let her wear a hoodie. But what do we got? Give me what you want to go over a little bit.
I do want to say before we begin that last
By the way,
week,
before I'm starting, I want to interrupt you, but Matt Staffiero saying, hey, K&K family, saying hello.
Nice.
So.
Nice. We neglected to mention last week with our guest picker Rob Neely that he is has a little side business on Etsy. I believe it's Etsy. His Smoky Beard rubs. So we wanted to give him a shout out last week. So we wanted to make sure he's not on this week, but last week. So check them out. SmokyBeardCooks.com, I believe, is his website. I think he has an Etsy shop. We've sampled them. Well, I've sampled them. He's given us some of the. Kurt tasted it a little bit. We know he's picky, but we don't want to neglect him. We neglected to mention that last week, so be sure to check that out. Some good seasonings.
Well, you know
for
what's
your
awesome?
Chicken, meat, and fish.
You know what's awesome about
and
his rubs?
And fries,
you know what's awesome? You didn't even think about this. I mean, NFL starts Sunday, so obviously he's going to watch Sunday, but his college football season's over already, so he has all Saturday to, since his Nebraska team's out, he has all Saturday to work on the rubs. So, and then he watches his football on Sunday, but Saturdays are free, so that's great for Mr. Neely. But the hot Mr. Neely, because when we're going to get into what his record was, well, his record and my record for the week's picks. But
we will see the new standings. Our 2 guest pickers have been hot.
Crazy.
So we'll show you those in a moment, but let's just go over the games that we did pick last week and the results.
Well, let's go over I know we talked a little Friday, which we're going to get a little spoiler. We are going to announce later on that we are going to be doing Friday and Saturday recap shows, but we did a live game. A little live tweeting.
We did.
You want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. We went to we chose the game to be West Essex at Ramapo. A little near and dear to 2 great teams, but we are connected to each of those teams as well. I see you're wearing your West Essex red today.
I am wearing West Essex red. I'm wearing West Essex red, Nebraska red. I'm wearing all the reds.
So, you know what? Before we get in, we recapped the game a little bit on Friday in our little recap show, but it was just really great to be out at a high school sporting event in full capacity again. Happy for those players and all the full sports who are able to resume them, in some form of normalcy this season. So it was a great atmosphere. That's the first thing.
I'm getting yelled at again. Kenny's saying we had updates on 2 games.
This is true.
But I'm not going to screw this up today. Kenny did update Calvary versus Huntingtown.
Yep,
Huntingtown. I'm all over it tonight,
Which
Kenny.
Is actually one of the games we will, give the score of in a moment. But the West Essex Ramapo game was where we were. Great game, 2 good teams, and Ramapo came out victorious, which was we had a little side bet going on, which I already made good on.
One of them.
I was gonna say we rewatched the because we were getting the picks in the finals and who had what picks, and we rewatched. I already came good on the wings from Sharkies, but I do owe Kurt Market Basket as well.
No, you know what I'm going to do? No. I'm going to pass with that because market basket, as Sis would say, sometimes becomes the money basket. So I'm going to save you a little money, but I'm not going to be greedy. We're going to do Sharkies Part 2, but with Coach Breslin.
There we go.
Because Coach Breslin
we
gets
go.
those wings too.
Absolutely.
So that's
absolutely.
where I will pass the market basket and we will do Sharkies.
Coach Breslin is probably watching film as we speak, so he might not see this, but we'll make sure that he is aware that he is in. He gets a share.
Oh, absolutely,
of
he gets a
Part
share.
2.
And again, just awesome atmosphere. You know, we were walking in and we were like, oh. The crowd's fired up because West Essex was coming in. Ramapo fans are booing them, you know, and it was a great atmosphere, both sides, and a great game.
0-0 after one quarter, 7-6 at halftime. Ramapo took over in the. It was even I think it was 14-6 after 3 quarters, if I'm not mistaken. But they really took over in the second half.
Yeah, and just so you know,
quarterback.
I'm gonna break a little news that I have a Christmas present wish list, and it's going to come back to the Ramapo game during our picks. That's all I'm going to tell you. That is all I'm going to tell you. Right. What we're also going to do before we get the Morris Catholic crew in is Coach Catrona, head coach of Woodbridge. Congratulations, Coach, on your first victory. But when we did have him for his interview, we did say that I remember we were saying to him, you know, what's your first speech going to be? How's it going to be? And we would love to hear it.
Yeah.
And today, pulling up to school, Coach Trona remembers and said, I remember you asking. So what we're going to do right now is I want to go just to we didn't do the whole clip.
Right.
You did a little highlight, but how you don't want to play for this guy.
I know.
And why.
I have to say, while putting it together and listening to it, I was getting chills. So it was great. So thank you, Coach, for sharing it with us and allowing us to share with our audience. So I hope you guys enjoy it as much as we did, and a little glimpse of inside the locker room on Game 1.
So I will get to that in 1 second. But again, just listening to that, and how about this? Your first game is at Rutgers.
Yeah.
How crazy is that? I mean, and again, a nice victory over North Arlington. We will get. I'm going to see if I can get to it because it's a little tricky here. I mean, I wish I worked in technology. Maybe I can.
Well, while you're doing that, I will just kind of recap a few of the beginning scores from our Week 1 pick. So. As Kenny mentioned, he was giving us the live information from our Maryland matchup, the Huntingtown Hurricanes at the Calvert Cavaliers. Are you still working on getting
I'm gonna try it right now. Just give me 1 second. And by the way, this is courtesy of Brian Carr from New Jersey High School, the football show. Unbelievable. He was in the locker room, got it. So again, this not footage, but the audio is from Brian Carr, New Jersey High School, the football show.
You let me know when you're ready, and I will. Oh, it looks like we're good to go. All right.
Never had the opportunity to play on a facility like this. Never had the opportunity to control their destiny right from the first game. I'm telling you right now, when we go out there and that whistle blows, there's no shot in hell they're playing with us. Yes, sir. We're the better football team. And the only team that can beat us is the team right here in this locker. Yes, sir. They can't beat us. They can't beat us. But if you make mistakes and you allow them to be in the game, they'll be in the game. So right from that first whistle, you showed them they ain't in this game. They got no shot. No shot to come out with a W. And this is a new order. This is for all the alumni. This is for your parents. This is for your friends. This is for each other. Seniors, this is for you guys. Okay? You want to be special? You want to be great? Here you go. Here's the opportunity right now. Here's the opportunity. Seize it.
Again, that was just an awesome little clip of Coach Catrona at Rutgers in his first game. Kenny saying, got chills, way to go, Coach Catrona. You know what we're going to do? We want to get more people to do that. You know, like if anyone has footage, send it in. Not just football, any sport, any coaches.
You know, it was, we played the audio, but the Brian what was the name again?
Carr. Brian
I
Carr.
want to again give him the credit where the credit is due. Had the posted the video on Twitter. So in addition to hearing the audio, which is compelling enough, that coach his passion just oozes out of him. And like you said, how he just how does that not infect his players? But you're watching them in the locker room, and they are locked in, and the quiet times, you sense them ingesting it and taking it, and that's what I don't know. It was a great thing to say.
Couple comments. Our good friend Raymond J. Fiore saying, "Chills, great job, coach."
Love it.
Our great friend Kip Finley, who I got to give him props for setting up with the Morris Catholic.
Nice.
67 total yards for the Vikes. He definitely fired up those Blue Devils. Just like you said, a couple things that were awesome was how he just came out and basically said, like, this is a new era. I wanted to coach you guys because you are good. We're going to be good. Set the tone today. This team, like, you're better than this team. And it was just like, right out of the gate, he set the tone with that, pregame speech. Yeah. And I'm fired up. And I don't know. Here's some more little breaking news for you. Just like the Christmas present, I'm going to give you a little more info when I get into the pick. So just a little spoiler.
But again, those are the things, not just opening night. It was his first game with that team. They're playing at Rutgers. I think he says that in there, seize the moment, and they did, which is great. So congrats to them. We do have our guests in the waiting room, so we're gonna play a little commercial while we get them in. Sound good?
Yes.
Okay.
Just got done doing flat bench, 6 reps of 185 pounds. First time in my life I've ever done it. I had to get some spotting for my wife, but it's all good. I want to say thank you to gym guys, specifically to Leroy Huggins, to Ryan, to Giovanna, for helping me out over the last 3 months.
Sounds good.
Get to this point. If you're considering personal trainers, gym guys is the way to go. They are awesome.
We watched our highlight video of our win tonight, so I had to get some ice cream to watch that. Yep.
Okay, and we are back live with the little Morris Catholic football talk.
I would like to welcome Coach John Hack, the head coach for football and athletic director at Morris Catholic High School in Denville. This is his 6th or 7th, I believe, season at the helm of the Morris Catholic football program. He played his college ball at St. Peter's University, is actually part of their Hall of Fame as a member of the 2001 squad that went 10-1. Coach Hack and his squad put together a 7-2 record during their 2020 campaign and are off to a 1-0 start this season. He is joined by his senior quarterback and captain, Dean. Dean, I don't want to mispronounce your last name. DeNobile?
It's DeNobile.
DeNobile, I'm sorry. Thank you. DeNobile, who was the leading passer in the state of New Jersey last year, and he has committed to play at Lafayette next year. So nice job, Dean, and welcome to the program, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys again, like Jen said, for coming. Awesome opening day win. You got a little revenge from last year. So I'll start with Coach. Welcome to the show. 7-2 last year. Started off 1-0 again with a big win last week. Can you talk about your program a little in general, how it has evolved, where it is now, and where you want to take it?
The program is something I'm very proud of. I mean, when I took over in 2015, there were a lot of good kids in the program. It just wasn't, there weren't that many. My first meeting, we had 16 players come to my first meeting, and we had a very small freshman class coming in. So we knew we had our work cut out for us. But what we had was great seniors, and those seniors, we had a team meeting our first day of practice, and we just decided that we wanted to determine what this program was going to be based on. Morris Catholic football has a great legacy, has a great tradition of football. People don't always think, Morris Catholic when they think long traditions, Don Bosco, Burden Catholic schools like that. But, we have a lot to be proud of. There's a lot of great players and great coaches that come before myself and Dean. So in 2015, when I sat down with my team, my entire team fit in my office at the time. We decided what our core values were going to be. And those core values are faith, toughness, hard work, and discipline. And everything I tweet, everything that's, on the back of our jerseys, all our T-shirts, it says FTHD on it. And that's what that stands for, faith, toughness, hard work, and discipline. And, those core values served us well in 2015, and they continue to serve us well in 2021. And we always say, be who we say we are. And if we can live out those values and live them out, not just in our everyday life, but on the football field, we think we can be very successful. And that's starting to happen. And it only happens, though, when you got guys like Dean and his teammates that believe in it. If you just say these things just to say them, nothing matters. So we're very proud of our culture, and I think that's kind of what's helped us, take these next steps. It also helps when good players like Dean want to be a part of your culture that you set. I think we've become a pretty attractive program for young men around the state of New Jersey. But again, what we worry about is things that we can control and being the best version of ourselves that we can be. And again, if you ask me, why have we had some success? Again, I think it's because of the culture that's been set, but also, like I said, the boys and the coaches who buy in. We have a special group of coaches. They work their butts off. Highly successful guys, guys who've been coaching for a long time, guys who are newer, guys who've coached in college. It's really a dedicated group, and for a small Catholic school, we don't pay a heck of a lot of money, so they really do it for the love, and I'm really proud of them all. So what's the vision for the future? I mean, we really don't worry about that. Each class, I always tell them, they all have their own legacy. The 2021 class, what's their legacy going to be? We talked about that right before the game the other day. And for me, each class is different and each team is different. So we just want them to have the best experience that they can possibly have. I always say, when you're my age, I want you looking back on your high school experience, thinking about how great it was, and hopefully that we can be a small part of that. But again, I think, I'm really proud of these boys. I mean, they live out FTHD every day. This year we have a theme and a Bible verse. Our Bible verse is Psalm 23, or our Bible passage is Psalm 23. And no fear is our theme. And Dean was instrumental in picking both of those. Our seniors picked those. And I think Dean was the one who came up with Psalm 23. So, again, if we are who we say we are, I think we have a chance to do really special things. We got to stay healthy. But I'd say with a quarterback like Dean and a team like we have and a coaching staff like we have, I think we have a chance to do some special things this season. But again, be who we say we are. And, part of that is being humble and hungry. And, as long as we can do those two things, we'll be okay.
Awesome, Coach. I want to read a couple comments. This is from our good friend and assistant coach at Clifton High School, Coach Coyne, saying Johnny. So he's giving you a little shout out. Coach Coyne is Coach Coyne, man. So
he's the guy, man.
He is. We got a Jeannie Wilson with your hashtag FTHD. Kenny Kirkpatrick, welcome Morris Catholic. Kurt and Jen read my mind. I said you need Morris Catholic on. Coach Kip Finley, good friend of mine. And again, thank you, Kip, for helping setting this up tonight, saying FTHD all day. Peter Clark saying whoop whoop, Coach Hack and Dean. And Coach Kenny's coming back. Congrats, Coach Hack. Sounds like a great program you have built at Morris Catholic. Best of luck this year and in the future.
Nice. Rolling in the comments, guys.
That's it.
Very nice. Dean, my question is for you. Kurt mentioned in his question how, it was a little payback last year in your opener against Pequannock last year. So your 40-7 victory over Pequannock must feel like a little bit of redemption since they beat you in last year's opener. How important was it to you and the team to start off with the W this year?
Yeah, I mean, it was really important. Coach told us before the game that they haven't won an opening game in 16 years. So, I mean, like, a lot of us took that, like, personal, and we really wanted to do that for the program and for Coach and just the whole school, really. And I mean, it was a great game. We wanted to play them for 11 months right after that game, and we got to play them. We did our thing.
I have a follow up question for you actually about that. So, last year you have, your opener 0-1, but after that you guys go 6-1 for the rest of the season. Do you think that game kind of stuck with you guys and you used it to fuel you for the last season? Did it work, as much as we all hate to lose, but do you feel like it worked in your favor and really got you guys on track last year?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, after that game, we were all really. I feel like we thought we were better than what we were, and I mean, we came back to practice the next week with I think it was Immaculata, and I mean that game was crazy. And Coach, we wanted to win for Coach, and I mean the rest of the season that set the tone, 100%.
That's you coached there prior, right, Coach?
I did, and
Yeah,
I played there as well.
Okay.
Okay. Another comment from a Michael Benedetto. Thanks for being such a great coach for our boys. #FTHD.
Nice.
I'm going to come back to Dean. Like Jen said before, most passing yards in Jersey last year. You got the keys to the car. Coach obviously believes that, hey, when you're the quarterback, you run the show on offense. Couple things. How does it feel like when you are the quarterback and you're given the keys by a coach and the trust of here's the offense? And part two of that is, how do you feel? I mean, obviously, coach is probably going to say, hey, you'll take a win anyway, a nice low-scoring game, whatever it is. But how do you feel as the quarterback if you're having a defensive little problem and, hey, we got to score 42 today to win that game? How do you feel as the quarterback, and, what do you tell your team, in the huddle, like, hey, we got to put up points in this game?
I mean, I think we go into every game wanting to score as many points as we can, and definitely, if we have to, we've definitely gone into shootouts, and I mean, that's going to be a lot of our games. Our defense this year is really good, and I mean, I don't think we're going to have that problem. So.
Okay, good. There you go.
Nice. Coach, I was wondering if you could highlight some of your players on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball that will be contributors to this year's squad.
I don't want to miss anybody. We have great players. Like I said, it makes your life easier, and it makes also your life easier when you have great players that are great teammates and work extremely hard. Like Dean, he's not just a great quarterback, but he's a great teammate. He's a leader. Someone who worked extremely hard all year long, which is a credit to him. Our captain, Zach Thomas. Zach was the third leading receiver in the state of New Jersey last year with 777 yards. He had 110 yards in the first game. Touchdown, he had a pick. He's a great player. He's legitimately a great player. He's fantastic. You can't say enough good things about him. He's been a 4-year starter for us and a 4-year all-conference player. So Zach is a special kid. Dante Colella is another one of our captains. Obviously, we throw the ball out, so we are in a lot of open sets, and we think we have some of the best skilled kids around, and not just one or two, but complete rooms. So, with our wide receivers, we have Zach, we have Dante Colella, who I just mentioned, who also starts at cornerback for us. We have Nick Gonzalez, who's a really special junior. He's a fantastic player for us, and he just had a few catches the other day, but he's capable of having enormous games, and he's a great safety for us, Nick. And then Stephen Lardy, when we're in our 10 personnel sets, he's our fourth receiver on the field as well, and he just does a great job for us. And he had 2 catches for 58 yards. They broke 6 tackles. He's fast as hell. A lot of fun to watch out there. So our receiving core is really good. Obviously, when you have a guy like Booty to throw it, it's a lot of fun to watch. But what people don't understand also is that we have a great running game, and we actually, what did we run for? 280 the other day, We ran for more yards than we threw for. That's on Dean too. Dean, like you said, Dean does have the keys to the team. Coach Clifton does a great job with our offense, and he is just fantastic. I've never been more in tune with an offensive coordinator than I am with him, and he really does a fantastic job putting Dean in a position to put us in a position to be successful. And I'm really proud of what Dean's been able to do in making the decisions. He's got 2 or 3 options on every play, and a selfish quarterback would just throw the damn ball every time. And especially last week, Dean was very patient, handed it off, and did what he was supposed to do, and we kind of had our way. So our running back Stanford Davis and Matt LaHoe and Max Icazza are really fantastic. Each one of them brings something different, and they're all elite. They're all young. We bring a lot of guys back next year too. So I mean, it's exciting in that regard. But none of that happens without the offensive line. And I thought the offensive line was fantastic the other day. Our starters are Jake Lukasco at center, which kid's really battled injuries the last few years and hasn't played football. He's a sophomore, hasn't played football since really early in the 7th grade year. It was really emotional to see him on the field. I've known him for a while. It was pretty awesome to see him get out there and push people around. Then Dravion Edelman and Alex Scheffler are guards, and they were really fantastic the other day. Dravion started as a linebacker for us as well. And then our tackles, Will Hoffman, who also plays defensive end for us, junior, just came in from MK. He's a fantastic player. He really is. And Kyle Skimmerhorn, 4-year starter for us. He's a beast at left tackle. He was fantastic this week. He got our Chain Award for Competitor of the Week. He was killing it from a leadership standpoint. He was outstanding. Maybe the best I've seen in 4 years. And then that's the offense defensively. By the way, especially Dean's also one of the best punters in New Jersey. So I wanted to throw that out there. He also as a punter, but we didn't have to punt the other day, which was good. But that's even better.
That's exactly.
He was responsible for that too. So defensively, up front, we had Johan Guin, who is he started for us last year. He's returning. He's a monster in the middle. He was our defensive player of the week this past week. He is fun to watch. He's a special kid, and we paired him with James Canigliero, who is a sophomore for us, just doing fantastic things. Him and Lukasco and Timmy Liebhauser's done a great job for us. What a great teammate he is. They spelled those guys inside this past week. On the edge, like I said, we have Will Hoffman, who's a great defensive end for us, and Logan Teller stepped in. We had one of our senior leaders, Andrew Gunnison, tore his ACL in our scrimmage this year, and it was really hard to see because he had missed his junior year as well with a shoulder injury. So, Andrew broke us down. He went out with the captains last week. He's a big part of our team, but we miss him a lot. Logan stepped in from really did an admirable job for him the other night against Pequannock. Our linebackers, Stanford Davis and Dravion Edelman. Max Icazza backs them up, along with Charlie Bowie, who's overcoming back injury himself. And then our secondary has been really good with Stephen Marty and Dante Colella at corner. And we mentioned Zach Thomas and Nick Gonzalez at safety. Also, Nick Masadi's been really good for us as a sophomore cornerback to spell Dante and Steve. He made a big play on special teams for us the other day as well. Dean, did I miss anybody? I tried to get everyone in there. So, but yeah, I wish I could name everybody on the team because the word of the week this week for us is team, and there's no selfishness on this team. I think we have a bunch of really good players, and Dean, for him, again, like I said, he kind of can lead by example. In a game where we were so jacked up, he only threw the ball 19 times, which for us, we throw the ball like 40 times. And he didn't complain about it. He just went out and did his job to the best of his ability and did a great job doing it. So,
Coach, couple more comments coming in from a Katie Bruno hack. Hi from Julia, Johnny, and Gianna. Go Crusaders.
Thanks, guys.
And Peter Clark saying, I'm sorry, Coach.
They're upstairs.
There you go. And Peter Clark is saying, absolutely best kids around at MC.
Nice, very nice.
I want to get back to Coach real quick because it's kind of like, we watched a lot of college football last week where, I'm a huge NFL fan, and you always hear on the NFL level and the college level, but even on the NFL level, you hear like coaches saying they're afraid like to give, their quarterbacks the keys, and, they just want them to be a game manager and don't make any mistakes. But you're at the high school level, like how is it to have a kid like Dean where it's like, hey, boom, throw it, like you just said, throw it 40 times. I mean, there's pro teams that don't want to throw 40 times because they don't trust their quarterback. How is it to have like your quarterback and to trust and to be able to say, hey, If we have to throw it 40 times, I got the trust in to throw it 40 times.
So I'm a big believer in using what you have, right? So there's been times at Immaculata when I threw the ball 50 times a game. There's been times at Morris Catholic where we ran the ball. Like my third season, I think we went exclusively Wildcat. We didn't really have a quarterback that we felt could do what Dean does. But the last 4 years we've been blessed with really elite quarterbacks, and we have a couple more in the system right now who are also pretty darn good. And also with the running backs that we have in the offensive line that we have, it allows us to be really balanced. And I mean, pick your poison. I think if you're going to try to stop the pass against us, we can run down your throat and vice versa. And again, I don't want to brag. I just think that our offense is set up that way there, that we can be explosive in either facet. But yeah, no, I mean, shoot, if it wasn't Dean, if it was someone that I didn't trust, we wouldn't be doing what we do. I mean, we're not as, Coach Cleffy and myself, and like we would totally adjust what we were doing and to be comfortable. Like we don't. If you have to run the ball 100 times a game to win it, run the ball 100 times. We'll run the ball 100 times.
Another comment, General. I'm sorry, Mike. I don't want to say this name wrong. Schermerhorn. So proud of all these Crusaders and looking forward to next week in Madison.
Nice, very nice. All right, my question is to both of you guys. I'm going to start with Dean first. Dean, your coach really elaborated on like your core values, right? The faith, discipline, toughness, and hard work. My question for you is, from a player's perspective, can you explain to our audience what it takes to be part of the Morris Catholic football program?
Yeah, I mean, everything we do basically is through those 4 core values. I mean, our whole football team, if we don't believe in those, then I mean, nothing will work for us. I mean, Coach, from the second I got in there, he told me that, and I believed it, and the whole team believes in it, so that's definitely...
Nice. And Coach, in addition to you, again, like I said, you spoke a lot about those core values that you instill and encourage in your players, but I know that you were also very academic as well as a co-valedictorian of your college class, right? So, we're a high school sports show. Can you talk a little bit about the importance that you put on for yours, the importance of the role of being a student in the student athlete?
Yeah, absolutely. So tomorrow they all have to show me their homework check tomorrow. So. Hopefully they've all done all their homework. But honestly, most of these guys, 90% of them are self-starters, and they don't need you to look over their shoulder. And we have really good kids. We have really good boys. I mean, I couldn't be prouder to be that coach. I always say I'm the lucky guy. I'm the one who's blessed all the time. They're really special. I couldn't be prouder to be in the program that I am at Morris Catholic. But that being said, again, you do have to place emphasis on. I try to remind them in my comments every day. Treat others the way you want to be treated. The golden rule. Be grateful for what you have and where you are and what you're doing. Be grateful for what you have at home. So we try to make it much more about football. But and the academic side is important, of course. I mean, and a lot of our guys the last several years have gone on to play at really good academic colleges, and not to be. They may not have gotten into those colleges without football, right? Like, so sometimes football opens doors for you. And I'm really proud of some of those guys. Actually, I was just talking to Thomas Stark the other day, who played for us last year. He plays at Dickinson College, which is a very, very strong academic school. And he actually played 3 quarters of his first game as a college. Right? So I was really proud of him. But that's an example of a kid who got into a great academic school. I mean, he was a great student, but it's important. That's important.
Nice. All right, we're going to roll
Well, real quick, I want to say one more thing to Coach, because and our co-host on one of our other shows, Kenny Kirkpatrick, last year started this little thing of he had quote unquote adopts a team, So his team was Del Barton last year, right? So he takes credit. Del Barton had a great run, but you know what? And you can ask Jen, because we actually went to one of your games last year. It was the Pequannock game, but I remember when we were there, I was like, man, I like this team, I was a former offensive coordinator. I'm like, this team's aggressive, throwing the ball all around. And all year I kept saying this year, Morris Catholic. Watch Morris Catholic. So I'm not going to let Kenny steal him. I'm saying it now. I'm adopting Morris Catholic. I'm all in with you guys. So I don't want to hear Kenny later on in pick segment saying he got Morris Catholic. I got Morris Catholic.
Welcome to the family.
That's it. I'm in.
I can attest to the fact that he did say that at the game. That is a,
And even
that is a true
all
story.
summer leading up to this.
Absolutely. My niece goes to Morris Catholic as well, so that was, so we, well, not that we wouldn't follow, but that's, kind of our in, let's
That's
say.
it.
Yeah. So we're going to roll into a little segment we call Rapid Fire. It's a couple of more quick, fun type of questions. So Kurt's going to start us off.
All right, I'm going to start with Dean first to see how good he knows his coach. So I'll go same question, but we're going to go with Dean first. You're down 7. 20 seconds left in the game. You score a touchdown. You guys going for 1 or 2?
2.
Coach, what are you guys going for? Okay, now here's the question. We're not going to say it because we don't know who's watching. Do you guys know? We don't announce it, but do you guys know right now what play you would run for there? Is there a favorite kind of 2-point play you got? Don't say it. We don't want you to say
Don't
it.
give away any secrets.
Don't give it
We wouldn't
away.
Put you on the spot like that.
There's a favorite formation we run.
Okay,
All right.
that's
all right.
fair. But they're both on board going for 2.
Nice, very nice. All right, we'll start with Dean for all the questions. So, Dean, what's your favorite Morris Catholic memory to date?
I would say probably after we beat Garfield last year. I thought that was a big win, and it was really fun on the way back, the bus ride.
Nice. It's a former Garfield alum, football
Garfield alum,
right
yep.
there.
Coach Santa Croce.
He coached Coach Santa Croce,
Yep.
yeah. Too funny. How about you, Coach? Your favorite Morris Catholic memory?
Oh man. God. Well, I mean, there's a lot over the course of 7 years. I'll focus just on. I mean, it was great the other night to see these boys go out there and they work really hard. Things that people don't see, behind the scenes. These guys work extremely hard. I ask a lot of them physically and mentally. And sometimes my coaches think I'm insane too. My assistant coaches and even my dad's on my staff. Somebody's like, John, a little too much, But I'm just so proud of each team. Like I said, each team has their own legacy. But to see them out there the other night, I got a text from one of the Pequannock assistant coaches the other night, and he texted me just commending us on our sportsmanship and our energy and the way that our players celebrated each other. And that's something actually force them to do it sometimes in practice, but they love each other, and that's we preach that every day, and I'm really proud of that. And so just to see them and to have another coach mention that to me the other day was pretty special. So there's been a lot of special moments, but I'll go with the most recent.
Nice,
Okay.
very nice. You're up.
Okay, I'm up. I'm going to start this with Coach. I'll start this with Coach Hack. Give me this is always a tough one for the coaches. Who would you say is a coach comparison for you? You have a little of any coach in you, would you say?
I don't know. I've never even thought of that one. I can't even begin. I'll plead the fifth on that one.
Okay. Dean, how about you as a quarterback? You got any little quarterback comparison, would you say?
Dean's Brett Favre.
By far?
Aaron Rodgers.
I can do Dean, but Aaron Rodgers, you said, Dean?
Aaron Rodgers or like Russell Wilson, I would say.
All right.
That's very nice. All right, I lived in Denville for a few years, so my next question is, are you Denville Dairy fans? Yes? Yes. Yeah. Okay, so what's your go-to?
So I live in Chester.
Okay.
So we have Taylor's in Chester,
Uh-huh.
which is unbelievable as well. So I
What-
live and I work in a town with like the best ice cream in the state. Of
There you go.
You do.
What's your go-to flavor?
So I don't have one at the Denville Dairy because I try not to go there, so I get less fat. But at Taylor's, I just picked up tonight. Like I said, I like the pomegranate raspberry sorbet with the pineapple Dole Whip on top.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh. And how about you, Dean? Denville Dairy fan?
I mean, I live in Bergen County,
Oh.
upper side of
Dean likes fresh mozzarella.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Okay, actually, okay, I'll go to we have a comment from Kathleen Connor Smith. Go Coach Hack and Dean. Great team, and our school has great kids. Go MC. My last one is, Dean, do you have an NFL favorite football team?
The New York Jets.
Okay, what's your thoughts on Zach Wilson? Real deal?
Yeah, I think he's the best rookie quarterback. So
Okay. And Coach, what about you? NFL favorite NFL team?
Thankfully, my dad was a Giants fan, not a Jets fan. So.
Okay, my question for you is, what? I'll give you an easy one. Joe Judge, you gonna ride and die with Joe Judge for the next couple of years?
Oh yeah, he's a great coach. I like Joe Judge a lot.
Okay.
Nice.
Morris Catholic Football saying Flood Mud, Denville Dairy. And
Oh, nice,
Of
nice.
course, Coach Kip's got to start with the jet up, so he's gonna get that.
All right, and our last.
We got one. We have one from the audience also. So you
okay.
can go. You want to go last, or you want me to
Oh.
read the audience one?
Go ahead. Yeah.
All right. Audience one is we're getting saying, Coach, are you a Rocky fan?
Oh, because the back there.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so we
My
want
kids have watched all 6.
someone
Nice.
in the audience wants to hear your best yo, Adrian.
I can't do that. That's gonna give my team a lot of ammo for the
Okay, all right, yeah, we'll save it.
Good call,
Good,
Coach
good,
Ed.
good.
That would come back to
Good.
haunt you.
They make enough fun of me.
That was good. All right. My last question for you guys is any pregame rituals or superstitions like that you have to do before each game. Dean, how about you? You want to start us off?
me personally, or like at the team? Me personally, not really. I mean,
Anything with the team?
we always have to pray before we like go down onto the field, which I like a lot.
Nice,
So
very nice. And how about you, Coach?
We actually do a lot, and we go to church before every game. So our Father Carmen is so gracious to us and says mass before every game. We have obviously pregame meal, our meetings. I always like the time between meetings and my final coaches meeting where we can just kind of be and focus. My son, my family always comes to the games, but my son many times is with me, so I like to hang out with him and throw the football or whatever. But like Dean said, it's special when you after the pregame speeches or whatever to walk down our stairs and we pray, on top in front of Our Lady Lords, Our Lady Victory. I'm sorry. As a team, that's a special moment. But we do a lot of post-game traditions as well. So those are fun because you win. We do a lot of different things. We celebrate a lot. Today we celebrated. So my dad brings donuts in every Tuesday after a win.
Oh, nice.
So
From where? From where?
Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay.
And then we do after the game the other night. Our victory drink is Fresca. So we went up to our tent and they were playing music and we were spraying Fresca all over each other, which was fun. My son was just drenched afterwards. And then we have a tradition where we put pictures on the wall for each win. So in my office, one picture per win, and then outside my office, another picture for each win. We have a highlight video that we do. So it's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. I think the boys like those traditions, and we try to do as much of that as possible. We have a hammer. We give that every week. Chain, a lunch bell, a backpack, all that kind of stuff. So
Awesome.
whatever, we try to reach them on their level as best we can. Although I'm getting older and it's getting harder.
Never. Well,
When we got guys like Dean, though, it's pretty easy.
Coach and Dean, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was a pleasure to have you guys on and chat with you about your program and, of course, your season. We would love to stay in touch throughout the season, maybe get to a game again.
Absolutely.
And best of luck to you guys the rest of the way.
Thank you so much.
I'm all in, baby. Go Morris Catholic. I'm all in.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Good luck.
Have a good night.
Take care.
Okay. A little Morris Catholic talk.
We have we do have one of our guest pickers ready to come on in.
Okay, the other one should be coming on.
Okay, so I know that we didn't get to go over. We don't have to review every game.
No.
So we can get maybe are we ready to maybe get our standings up with, after week 1?
We can do that, but let's bring the people on.
Okay.
When do you want to bring them in right now?
We can bring in our first guest.
Yeah,
who's
let's.
ready to go.
You know why we want to bring them in? Because we want to put the pressure on them. We want to put the pressure on these guys.
So we have joining us. We have Gerald Patire joining us, a former alum of Bergen Catholic, joining us to be guest picker number 3 this year. Welcome, Jerry. How you doing?
How you doing, guys? How's everything?
There he is, great friend Gerald Patire, like you said, BC alum. He was bummed that they're off this week, but I have 2 special questions for him later on, and he's probably the first person to have a Dodger hat on the show.
Very true. Very true.
You know, we'll hear a couple of Yankee fans crying in a little bit.
I'm a Yankee fan, Kurt.
Oh well, you're just rocking the Dodger hat then.
Well, I like the color. My wife's first name is Lauren. My daughter's name is Elaine.
Oh, there you
LA.
go. There you go.
That's
Okay.
Very nice. Very nice.
By the way, Chris Clark is giving you a shout out right out of the gate.
Uh-oh.
So, by the way, so we're gonna put up. People want to see the Raymond Fiore saying, "When does the Patire pick segment become a weekly?" Well, I'm gonna tell you one thing. Mr. Neely last week went 12-1
Yep.
Wow.
with his only loss. DePaul, he went with Cardinal Hayes going at DePaul. So you got big shoes to fill tonight.
Well, our guest pickers have claimed the number 1 spot in the standings. So
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put up the standings right now. So the guest picker right now, again, is a combination of Paul Mulvaney Sr. and Rob Neely. They are 17-3. I am in second with 16-4. Kenny, who was opening his mouth last week that he had this thing champion already, he's 15-5. Beelan is 12-8, and somebody's 11-9. Jerry, I don't know who it is, but somebody on this panel is 11-9. They're at the 500 level almost.
I'm going to bring the guest pickers right down after this week.
We're gonna see. Coach Breslin saying, "Great job, Rob. He picked Ramapo. That's why."
all right, we have our second live guest ready.
Let's bring our second.
Our second.
Well, he's not a
live-
guest. He's
well,
one of our panelists.
I was going to say that he picks with us every week, but this week he will be joining us live. So welcome, Mr. Kenny Kirkpatrick. Hey, Kenny.
What's up, everybody?
I feel like we always are referring to you. Now the audience gets to see you.
The
It's kind of
Garfield
exciting.
reunion show
This is
right
a
here.
Garfield reunion tonight. Well, it's actually, I'm on outnumbered. It's really a Mazzo oil reunion. I'm the one that I'm the
true.
Garfield paint. Yeah, that could be
That
a
is
whole nother
true.
show, guys. That could be
Whole nother show is right. We can go on for hours about that.
All right, so we got 17 games on the docket
Gotta
tonight.
Yep, we gotta get moving. So our first matchup is New Milford. It'll be their first game. They're 0-0 against traveling to 1-0 Woodridge, who we just heard Coach Catrano's inspiring pregame speech. So guest picker, your guest, you're gonna be up first.
All right. I mean, how do you not want to go play for that guy in Woodridge? They put up 38 last week in a shutout, so I'm going Woodridge.
All right,
Okay.
Kenny, you are next.
Well, Kurt adopted Morris Catholic on me, but this is this year's adopted team. Woodridge, Coach Catrone, 20-7 over New Milford. I'm going to give you scores as well.
Okay.
All right, then our friend Mr. Beelan has given his picks as well. He's going with Woodridge.
Okay.
Jerry, you took the words right out of my mouth. How do you listen to that speech and not go with Woodridge, right? Yeah,
Absolutely.
100%. So mark me for Woodridge as well.
Okay, here's my paper, and I did it before. Jerry, I don't want to hear Kenny crying later. My other team I'm all in this year is Woodridge. And Kenny, I'm going to raise you even better. And I hope Coach Catrona is listening. I'm calling it now. Woodridge wins their division this year. I'm calling it now. I'm going 20. Kenny went 21-7. I'm going 21-6 Woodridge.
Ooh, look at that. Kenny, I will have you know, I was all over Kurt earlier as he was making his picks on air after everybody else picked last week. Oh, isn't that convenient, Mr. Valenti? You'll just pick, after everybody else gives their picks. Yeah. So I was all over him for that. All right, our second matchup is Garfield. We have our 3 Garfield alums here. Oh, well,
We're not
Garfield,
alum.
not alums. Yeah.
Garfield guys.
Garfield guys we'll go with. At Park Ridge, opening week for both teams. So, Mr. Patire, we'll start with you.
I'm going Garfield. I can't go any other way.
All right, Kenny?
I hate to do it, but I'm going to go Park Ridge.
Kenny!
I hope I'm wrong. I'm not. I don't want to put the jinx on them when I bet Garfield. Pick Garfield, they lose. So I'm definitely hoping this pick is wrong. I'm going to go Park Ridge 21-14.
All right. Mr. Beelan has picked Garfield. Kenny, I'm with you with Park Ridge. Sorry, Garfield guys.
Okay. You know what? I'm with Mr. Patire. Why? Because Coach Riggs is going to hold them to 13. That's what they always do, play defense. The thing is, can Garfield get to 14 points? That's the magic number.
That's tough. 14? You know what? Yeah. We're going to get there.
If we can
I'm going to go 24 points they're going to put up.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm glad you have more confidence in me, because last year I was a little down when I picked them and they didn't score. But I'm giving Pete Santa Croce, I hope he's watching, one shot this year. I'm going 14-13 Garfield. By the way, Chris Clark saying Tom Curry Jr. does a great job there at Park Ridge.
Nice.
And Raymond Fiore's saying, Patire, you're a homer. He's calling you.
Absolutely.
You gotta be. You gotta,
gotta
be.
be.
Absolutely.
Wait till we get to the St. Peter's game.
Oh, okay.
All right, our next matchup is 1-0 Ramapo at 1-0 Pascack Valley.
I'm going Ramapo just because of history there. Always have a good team on the field.
Kenny?
I don't think Kurt gave me this one on the list, but I'm going Ramapo.
How did I not give you one on the list? I sent you the picture of the paper.
I don't know. Maybe I missed it, but I'm definitely going Ramapo and Coach Gibbs, Coach Breslin. We're going to go 28. They'll get 7. 28-7.
All right. Mr. Beelan has Ramapo as well. I have Ramapo.
So you learned your lesson.
Oh, my gosh.
Did you learn your lesson?
Stop it.
I am going to go Ramapo too, but here was my first thing I was saying to you. Christmas present, Mr. Grusser, the quarterback. I might want a Ramapo number 7 jersey because I am a huge fan of him. Running, throwing, he was fired up when he was throwing touchdowns. Huge fan. That might be a Christmas present. I'm going 27-13 Ramapo.
All right. All right, our next matchup is Northern Highlands 1-0 at 1-0. Our friends at PCTI. All right, guest picker.
I'm going PCTI. Won in overtime last week. Northern Highlands had a win, but PCTI's tested already. So I think they got that under their belts.
Kenny?
This was a coin flip for me, down here in Maryland. I know PCTI, the girls did great flag football, but I'm going to go Northern Highlands here in a high-scoring game, 34-20.
Mr. Beelan has Northern Highlands as well. I have chosen Northern Highlands, and you are up, Mr. Valenti.
You know what? Me and Jerry
I'm
are
going to
same.
change my mind on the air because that's what he's going to do.
No, I'm not changing my mind.
I'm looking at his notes.
My notes say I really want to pick the upset. I'm so close to doing it, but the experience is the slight difference. I'm going to go 27-21 Northern Highlands, but Jerry, I'm with you. I think PCT could beat them, but I'll go with this little safe
I'm with
out.
that too. I think PCTI could beat them.
Agreed. All right, our next matchup is 1-0 Hackensack at 1-0 Clifton.
I lived in Clifton for 10 years, so I'm going with Clifton. My dad grew up there, so I can't go another way.
Nice. Kenny?
Listen, I made the mistake last week in going against Clifton. Kurt, you all live in Clifton. Enough said there. I'm taking Clifton every week. I got Clifton. All joking aside, I have Clifton this week. 34-20 over Hackensack.
Nice. Mr. Beelan has chosen Clifton. I am choosing Clifton.
Okay, and I am also choosing Clifton. Clifton's no joke this year. I mean, big win down in Syracuse. Our good friend Coach Coyne. I'm going 33. I got 33-12. So we all sweep the board with Clifton.
I know we did mention that we're doing 17 games this week, but I don't think that I mentioned we are starting with our Friday slate right now.
Okay, Friday slate.
So these are all Friday games. So
Okay.
we have Riverdale 1-0, traveling to West Essex 0-1.
I'm going Riverdale, right next door to me. Bergen County guys, we're going to go with them.
Kenny?
I got to go with Jenny Hoops invited me on the show tonight. I got to go West Essex. 21-14 over Riverdale. I think they bounce back. Ramapo, top team in the state. I think they get the momentum back. Must win for West Essex.
Jerry, I'll tell you exactly how this conversation's gonna go. He always just kisses butt and says nice things. He'll call me as soon as this show's over and say, "Yeah, I was just being nice to Jen. Riverdale's gonna blow them out."
Yeah.
I can guarantee you he's gonna say it.
Yeah. Kenny really makes this
not
pick.
good, Ken. Not good.
By the way, Raymond Fiore is now saying this is must-see TV. You guys are rolling.
All right. John Beelan has chosen Riverdale.
Okay.
Kenny, shocking. I agree with you. I think you know what? West Essex opening up with two tough opponents. So they're home next week.
All joking aside, Jen, your updates, yours and Kurt's updates were great last week, and it was, from what I saw, a close game early. So
it really was, and you know what? There was a couple, Ramapo had really good stops at 4th and 1 that, had things gone one way, just a couple plays here and there possibly change the landscape
that's
of
Coach
the game.
Breslin helping up on the defensive side of the ball. Come on.
I would totally give Coach Breslin credit. But, again, I think they will bounce back as well. Home opener, so I'm going to pick West Essex.
I'm going to go Riverdale because I just think it's a bad matchup for them. It's Riverdale. It's basically like playing like a Ramapo. It's going to be the spread, the high thing. My only concern is, can West Essex score enough? I'm going to say no, and I'm going to say Riverdale 27-7 over West Essex. Next game.
Next game is Nutley 1-0 at Belleville 1-0.
The Battle of Franklin Ave. I mean, I was torn here, but I'm going Nutley. Don't have a reason. I picked a name out of a hat.
There you go. There you go.
Out of my LA hat. Just kidding. Kenny, how about you?
Nutley played Bloomfield last week. Is that correct?
I believe so.
A close game. Nutley usually has been the the top of that rivalry with those three schools, but it might be in a down year from what I see because they usually take care of Bloomfield pretty well. I'm going to go Belleville in an upset, 14-6.
All right.
I would think it would be an upset, so I'm going to call that an upset.
Okay.
All right, John Beelan is picking Nutley. I am picking Nutley.
And I am also going to be picking Nutley. So it's 3-1. Wait, Jen, you are going Nutley, correct? Okay, so Nutley. All right, so 3 Nutleys, 1 Belleville on that.
Okay. Alrighty, our next matchup for Friday takes us to our Maryland matchup. We have, I don't know if I'm pronouncing these correctly, Kenny. We have 1-0 Leonardtown, I think it is, versus 1-0 Huntingtown, our two Maryland teams.
Yes, Huntingtown, both 1-0, Huntingtown, Leonardtown. You want me to go first?
We'll stick with our guest picker first.
I'm going to go Huntingtown, just because I like the name. Didn't do any research on the Maryland.
Let's do my best Lee Corso. That's a great pick. Great pick. They're a small school, equivalent to a Group 2 Huntingtown, and big shout out to VNN Sports. We teamed up with them, and we are a proud sponsor on the Huntingtown Hurricanes high school page. Thanks to VNN Sports. That being said, I'm going Huntingtown over Leonardtown. They're both 1-0. Huntingtown is equivalent of a smaller Group 2 school in New Jersey, like North Jersey Group 2 school. And they were ranked 36 last week, and they moved up a couple spots. They got a great rushing attack. Hats off to Leonardtown. It's the next county over, 1-0 start. I'm going to go Huntingtown 28-13. I think their running game is going to be too much for Leonardtown.
Okay.
All right, Mr.
And I'm going to work with the coaches, see if we can get them on the show to talk a little bit about their play.
That would be
Awesome.
great. Fantastic. Mr. Beelan is choosing Leonardtown. I am choosing Huntingtown.
I am with you. Kenny sold me on the running game, and if you can run the ball in high school, it's going to be very hard to stop it. So I'm going to go. I went 40-20. I went a little high, Kenny. I hope your boys can put up 40 for me. I went 40-20.
They won 35-18 last week. I think they'll put up at least 28.
Okay.
All right, a few more Friday games to finish up here. Our next one is 2-0 St. Peter's at Northeast, which is in Pennsylvania.
Well, this is the game. This is Mr. Patire. He just said, wait until we pick this game. So I don't know if he's got something up his sleeve for this.
You know what? I talked to my godson over text. Gave me a few names. Now, Sammy Slade, the running back, St. Peter's. How does he should score 3 touchdowns and run for 250 every game just with that name. Zion Fowler, Eric Perez. You got the quarterback over there, Champ Long. It's St. Peter's for me.
How about you, Kenny?
Well, I guess I got my St. Peter's colors on. I would not go against St. Peter's, having Mr. Patire on, and his nephew plays over there. St. Peter's, it don't matter if Northeast Pennsylvania's playing them, Southeast Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, the whole state of Pennsylvania can play St. Peter's. St. Peter's is winning 35-7.
All right, Mr. Beelan has chosen St.
The reason why they're going to score 7 is they're going to be heading towards the bus thinking the game was over, and they'll be there's the 35-7 score. I don't like to put any shutouts in high school football. I don't want to disrespect any teams like that. So we'll put 7 on the board for Northeast.
Nice. I'm going to pick St. Peter's as well.
And I am also, my quick comment on that is, Peter's rolls. And it's another prep. Get it? Another prep from St. Peter's Prep for the big guns that are going to be down the road. But I'm a little, Kenny was generous. I'm going 49-6 St. Peter's. I know Mr. Fiore who's saying, yes, it is prep rolls. They are having a great week of practice, too. 49-6. That's my pick of the week for St. Peter's.
All right, our next matchup is 0-1 Rutherford at 0-0 opening game for Glen Rock.
I'm going Rutherford. They always come up with good teams. They find a way to win. Great town, great kids, great coaching over there.
Nice. Kenny?
I'm with Jerry. I'm going Rutherford. They came very close to winning last week. They played looked like a hard-fought game. I'm going to go Rutherford in a 19-14 win over Glen Rock.
Mr. Beelan is picking Glen Rock. I, too, chose Glen Rock. I know that Rutherford has, we could argue an edge with their opening week as opposed to Glen Rock opening, but they won a close one last year. I'm going to go with Glen Rock, the home team.
Again, like Mr. Patire said, great program, Rutherford. I'm just going to go another heartbreaker. Like Kenny said, they lost a heartbreaker to Heights. I'm going 21-20 Glen Rock. But again, I can see Rutherford winning, but I will take Glen Rock.
All right. Rounding out 2 more Friday games, we shift a little bit. I know you guys are Bergen County boys, but I put in a little plea for a little Essex County and Morris County representation in these picks
Absolutely.
here.
Yeah, whenever you're the only one that wears the all-in sweatshirt. You can put on anything.
All right, we have Mountain Lakes traveling to Caldwell. Again, opening game for both programs.
I got Mountain Lakes on the road.
I'm going to go Mountain Lakes too, Jim. I don't know much about each school, but I think I think that they have a little bigger program, I think, than Caldwell, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to go Mountain Lakes 27-13.
All right. John Beelan has chosen Mountain Lakes. This was a tough one for me. I flipped and flopped because they're 2 programs with very strong traditions. Maybe not at like the top of their games right now, but very strong traditions for many years. But I too chose Mountain Lakes on the road.
And I'm going to sweep the board. I went 21-20. Again, 2 great programs in that county, but I'm going to go Mountain Lakes, and that's a clean sweep.
Alrighty. Our
One more Friday game, right?
Last Friday matchup. We have Verona traveling to Lenape Valley.
Lenape Valley, Kerr, if I remember correctly, weren't they really good when we were in high school?
Yeah, they were. They beat Lodi. It was a heartbreaker for Lodi. I want to say our junior year, and then I think Lodi beat them our senior year. But Lenape Valley might have been like back-to-back state champs, and then got their 3 in a row.
So you would think I would pick Lenape Valley, but not so fast. I'm going Verona.
All right. Kenny?
I'm going to go Lenape Valley just because when I did these and I said Lenape Valley, just like Jerry said, they were good when we were in
Yes,
high
very
school.
good.
I'm going to turn back the clock 20 years. I'm going to go Lenape Valley 34-19 over Verona.
By the way, Raymond Fiore saying Patire needs another guest spot on Wits and Wages. Hey, anytime he wants.
Absolutely.
Anytime he wants.
I did give you the play against Washington State this week, and they lost straight out laying 17.5.
You did.
All right.
You bet against the state of Washington, you'd be rich.
You'd be rich.
We got John Beelan choosing Verona. I made that plea, as I said, for some Essex County representation, which Kurt came through with Verona, not realizing myself that they had Lenape Valley this week. And as much as I would love to give the love to an Essex County team, I got to go Lenape Valley on this one.
All right, that's perfect. I am with Jerry and Mr. Beelan. I am going to take Verona. I got Verona 14-6.
All right, that is our Friday slate of games. So moving to Saturday, we're going to have our guests who were just on. Morris Catholic 1-0 travels to 0-1 Madison, 2 Morris County schools matching up. Mr. Patire, who do you have?
Morris Catholic, they put up, 40 last week against Pequannock?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and you had them on as guests. They got to win. They got to win.
Kenny?
I'm with Jerry. How can you go against this team? Great program. Great coach, great kids. 35-13, Morris Catholic over Madison.
All right. Mr. Beelan, Morris Catholic. Myself, Morris Catholic. If you adopt a team,
don't even ask me. I mean,
for anybody still listening out of Morris Catholic, I tried my best to get Coach to do his best route.
You did.
That was good. That was
he
great.
wasn't playing with that. But this is, again, I called it. I'm all in on this team, my adopted team. Big. They send another message. I'm going 41-12 over Madison.
Nice.
All right. Our next Saturday matchup is 1-1 Don Bosco at 2-0 Seton Hall Prep.
I'm about Coach Dan Sabella. Probably, in my eyes, current coaches, one of the best coaches in the state. One with Pagoda, one with Paramus, one with Paramus Catholic, and has been winning with Bosco. So I'm going to stick with Coach Sabella. I know Mr. Fiore over there said Seton Hall Prep maybe in an upset, but I'm going to stick with Coach Sabella.
Nice. How about you, Kenny?
I'm not going to cheat like Kurt and change my mind, because if I did, I would have went with Don Bosco just by what Jerry said there. But I wrote Seton Hall 28-20 in a little upset. But I would have, if I was a cheater, I would definitely go Bosco by what Jerry just said. But I'm going to go Seton Hall for the record.
All right. Mr. Beelan has Seton Hall. This was a hard one, too. I feel like Seton Hall Prep might get the upset, but Jerry, I was kind of with you on the thinking there, and I'm picking Bosco.
And Mr. Kirkpatrick, you are so wrong about me. I'm going to be honest. Listening to Jerry, though, when he's talking about Coach Sabella, I was real close to getting my pen and doing a little scratch off, but I'm not. You know what, Kenny? Upset City. I'm with Mr. Fiore. By the way, Chris Clark is saying, Jerry, you're a smart man for this pick. But
He's a Pagoda guy. He's going to say that.
I'm with Mr. Fiore, man. Upset City. They finally get it done. I'm going 17-14 Seton Hall Prep.
All right. Our next matchup brings us out to, I guess it's a Morris and Passaic County matchup. We got 1-0 Butler at 0-0 Pompton Lakes.
I'm going with Butler on this one. You know, they got one game under the belt. Don't know much about Pompton Lakes. So I'm figuring all the better Pompton Lakes kids probably go to DePaul.
Good point.
That is a very good point. Yeah. Kenny?
This is the battle of Route 23 north. I'm going to go with the further north team, Butler, in a tight, low-scoring game, 13-12.
All All right, Mr. Beelan also has Butler. I'm going to break away. I'm going Pompton Lakes. Home opener, Pompton Lakes. Because, again, I think it can go either way, but I'm going Pompton.
Hoops. I'm with you.
Oh, my God, that's a rarity.
I'm with you. I'm going Pompton Lakes because I'm going to go. Pompton Lakes always has a good defense, and I think they'll shut the spread offense down. I'm going to go 20-13 Pompton over Butler.
All right, we're close.
What's shocking, me and you were together.
I know. On the close ones, we always differ. All right, coming down to our final two, we have an opener for these two teams. We have Bogota at Harrison.
Group 1 Bogota, huh? Group 1 school, but they have Group 4 hearts. I mean, the teams they put together in every sport, and Chris Clark's on this, the basketball teams they had there, I'm going Bogota.
All right, Kenny?
I'm exactly with Jerry. Bogota, 20-14 over Harrison.
Mr. Beelan is choosing Harrison.
Wow. By the way, the first official game for Coach Ray Lucas as the Harrison head coach.
Oh, nice.
Former
nice,
New York
nice.
Jet, former basketball star and football star at Harrison. He is making his debut as a head coach. Okay, Beelan's going Harrison.
Yep. I actually did forget about that tidbit that you mentioned that he was coaching there. I picked Bogota strictly on the fact that I feel like Harrison is a soccer town. That's really the my reasoning based on especially what you've said in Kearney,
yes.
Same kind of situation. So that's why I'm choosing Bogota.
Okay, I'm going to go Bogota too. Tons of experience back. I think I'm not sure if the quarterback's back, but they have like 17 or 18 starters coming back. They won their league last year. I'm going to go 27-6. I'm going to take Bogota over Harrison.
All right. This brings us to our last matchup, which you have deemed the premier matchup.
It is
of week
game
2.
of the week. Game of the week.
We have 1-0 DePaul at 1-1 St. Joe's.
We're from Garfield. How do we not go with St. Joe's? The AD is from Garfield, Damian Logan. Junior football coach for many years, Johnny Zooks, played there. Outstanding athlete. I'm going St. Joe's.
All right, Kenny?
This is tough. I know Jerry said there's some Garfield people over there, but one of our good friends is over at DePaul, and that's Mr. Guy Bertola.
He's a Lodi guy.
He's come on our show. He's been
Greatest guy ever.
of our show.
Great guy.
He is.
All joking aside, this is how I got this game coming down. And this is bold. I got DePaul winning 22-21. Coach Campanelli going for 2 and winning the game 22-21.
It's bold.
Yeah, nice. All right, we have John Beelan picking DePaul.
So Beelan's going DePaul.
Yep. And Jerry, I'm with you. I'm picking St. Joe's.
And you know what, Hoops? I'm with Jerry and I'm with you. Again, so close. It's the game of the week. I want to do it. Coach Campanelli, I think DePaul, awesome athletes. But, I think the difference is 2 things. They're at home and they're desperate. They have a loss already. So I think the little desperation,
Good point.
I am going to go with, I went 34-31 in a high-scoring game, but I am with Jerry and you taking Joe's over DePaul. Now, I have 2. Now, I kind of feel bad because Jerry's comment to me today was no BC. So you know what? We'll get him on again, but we're gonna put him on the spot right now.
Uh-oh.
2-part question. Out of the big 4, the big 5, whatever we want to call them, we're gonna go Prep, Joe's. We'll throw DePaul in, Bosco, Bergen. Who's the best team out of that group?
Bergen.
So I want right now on air. 2-parter again. Will Bergen be state champs?
Yeah. I mean, the quarterback, he's going to Notre Dame. You got the D-back on the ND. You got the other D-back going to USC. I live a mile and a half from the stadium. It's game day's electric over there. I mean, right now in Bergen County, probably in the state, you don't want to be at any other game. Maybe St. Peter's, maybe Bosco if they're playing Bergen. I'm not too sure about Bosco this year. I really think it's going to be Bergen, St. Peter's in the final.
And you know what? They kind of, Coach Campanelli, I know he said it a lot of times that they kind of felt they got a little robbed last year by not being number 1 in the state. Mm-hmm. Do you think the winner of that, playoff of the Group 4, like the parochial, do you think that team will be number 1 in the state?
I mean, how can it be?
Exactly.
That's it. I mean, those are the best kids. I mean, you look at the rosters and all those big 5 schools. These kids come from all over the state, some out of state. Upstate New York, the Bosco and Joe's grab upstate New York. So, I mean, you're getting the best out of the best for like 80 miles.
So you're on board. You're wearing by the way, you're getting a comment saying Patire's prep family will not be happy with this pick.
RJ's younger brother, Joey's on the freshman team this year at St. Peter's.
Oh.
So he's playing. I think he's playing middle linebacker. So
I mean, listen, some of those freshman games, they're probably better than some of the varsity games around. Sure. Seriously, like that Prep Bergen game might be. It is. It's true.
Yeah,
it's
very
true. But so you're on record right now, Jerry. They're winning the state title. They'll be number 1 in the state.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
We
there
gotta
you have it.
I gotta remember that. Well, when we get into the playoffs, I mean, we're gonna up the ante on wagers too. Like some things. But
and wait, Kurt, let me add this. One thing about Bergen Catholic. 7 players actively playing in Ivy League right now. Most out of any one school in the Ivy League. So the academics there is great.
Well, you know what? I love that you said that because, I just feel like we talk sports, but they are student athletes. We even just talked about that tonight with the Mars Catholic coach. And he made a great point, that like, I'm not saying I don't know those kids. I'm not saying they couldn't get into Ivy League schools, but you know what? The sports can open, you're good. If you're a good student, like sports can open that door to get you to that next tier academic school. Absolutely. Like opportunities that you might not have had. So that's great to hear. I love hearing that.
And
academics.
I just got one more thing for Jerry again, because he was a Bergen County alum. You mentioned there's not a better like stadium or place to go see a game. What would you say? Like I know they call it the Crusader Crazies and all that stuff.
What's that?
I said they say the Crusader Crazies and all stuff like that. What is like watching a game there, being at a Bergen Catholic, especially like a prep first, either a Bergen Prep or a Bergen Bosco, Bergen Joe's. What's the atmosphere like? How would you compare that? How would you like? I'm saying,
I went to Seton Hall University, so we were in a football school. So that's that's my college. Every one of those schools, the student body is great. Bergen, Prep, Joe's, Bosco. I mean, they make it feel like a college atmosphere. As best they can. I mean, you go to some of these games, there's 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 people at a game.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I mean, it's I remember when we were going to Garfield Lodi games as 7th and 8th graders, we were lucky they popped 200.
Right, and it looked crowded. Like, oh my God, it's a big crowd.
Yeah. So it's a great atmosphere. I mean, just go watch. Have a few friends come up, public school or bring their little kids, and it's a great scene, start to finish, when you go see any one of those schools play.
Very nice. Okay. Thanks so much for being our guest picker.
And thanks for having me.
And Kenny, thanks for making a live appearance with us.
A rare Tuesday off for me. And, thank you for having me. I want to invite Jerry if he wants to be our first guest picker on Thursday. Kurt, we don't have anybody yet. I didn't send the invite out.
That's up to him.
Maybe we get Mr. Fiore on. He with some wagers. He likes to.
Mr. Fiore might be our first guest too. By the way, his last comment, great points regarding the academics. Tonight's show was fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for commenting throughout
the show.
College
picker, and we need an NFL picker.
Set it up, Kenny. Tomorrow night, NFL preview. And make sure, Jerry, I was going to say this. I have Saquon Barkley in 2 of my fantasy leagues. I'm probably going to sit him because my Denver's defense is going to eat that Giant team up on Sunday. That's all I'm going to say. All I'm going to say.
How many rookie quarterbacks are starting this week in the NFL, though? We got a lot.
Lawrence,
right?
Wilson, Mac Jones.
I think it's 4 or 5, I think they said. Yeah. Ooh. Yep. Gonna be a lot of bad football.
That's it. I mean, listen.
No offense to those guys, but they're rookies.
Jerry, how much worse could it be than the Clemson offense on Saturday night? I mean, come on. How bad is that?
Dismal.
Terrible.
I got one last thing about the high school picks. Jen, it's an even playing field now. I got one team here in Maryland, and now you got your Essex County schools. Kurt don't have that advantage anymore. It's more of an even playing field,
Exactly.
Mr. Valenti.
He picks all
You
the
may be
Bergen
up.
County
You may be
schools.
up
Like,
by
I don't know
1 and
about those
4 on
schools. Let's get a
Hoops
little
now.
Essex in there and Morris, where I coached. You know.
Hoops is on the bottom now, but I see her climbing.
Thanks, Kenny. Thanks for the
The only thing,
confidence.
the only thing she's climbing is the 3-flight of stairs to the sports room. That's the only thing she's climbing.
Easy there. We'll see. We'll see.
Boys,
Long season.
Thank you guys for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you,
Jerry,
guys.
anytime, and Kenny, we'll see you guys tomorrow night.
Very pleasure to see you, bud.
Take care, Kenny.
Have a good night.
Good night.